Hello and welcome to the 12th episode in the Farleigh Park build series. Got quite a few changes to go over today. We're going to start off here in the Steampunk area. The main section of the park I've been working on has been Deadwood. So without further ado, roll the intro, we'll get straight into the updates. So starting off here in the Steampunk area, as you can probably see behind the coaster, I've continued planning out where the facades are going to go and how they're going to interact with the coaster around the front here. So you're going to kind of curve around with this turn here before diving off back this way to accommodate our airtime hill, before going onwards in this zigzag pattern which will have the tunnel of the coaster behind it. And this is currently where I'm up to. Meanwhile, on the other side of the entrance, just kind of raise this facade up slightly. As I mentioned, I have this really cool bridge here for this airtime hill. I think it looks really nice. You have the piston here turning the cog, which then makes its way over the bridge towards whatever this kind of electrical thing is. And yeah, when you're on the ride, I think it looks pretty cool flying through with all the poles. And yeah, it does kind of double up as a support for the ride. You can see we have connectors here for the track onto all the steel. You've got this nice archway going over when the coaster dips back under itself. Obviously also got all the coal added down here, not on this side yet, still want to figure out how I'm going to theme it, if I want to use brick or coal or rocks, I don't know yet. We'll see kind of what I do with that when I end up building it. Moving away from kind of the bridge, because outside of everything else, that's pretty much where all of my time in the Steampunk area has gone into. I have started work on a railing design here. We've got pipes, we've got bits of steel, we've got all the bars, and I think it's high enough where you wouldn't be able to climb over it, but at the same time you can get some pretty cool views out over the coaster. Just move over to the other side as well. Yeah, I think that's once this kind of fencing is in all around, or maybe, I don't know, I might use different types of fencing in different sections of the park, we'll have to see. And here is my first test of a path cover. Obviously here you're quite close to the coaster, still need to put some sort of fence on the side there, but I think this looks pretty cool. You've got the glass, these are actually the same pipe pieces that I've got here to kind of split the glass up a bit. You've got the poles going between all the different things. I think it looks pretty cool, really happy with that. And I think I'm probably going to put those on the stairs going up to the station as well, but I think it's pretty cool and it fits the steampunk vibe fairly well. And then finally in the Steampunk area, really small change, I've put archways over here in the main entrance. I think it looks pretty cool, kind of similar to what we've done just over here with the archway over the other entrance, but on the inside of the area. And so yeah, I thought we'll put them in there for now and I'll try and integrate them into the entrance facade. Moving on now to the city area. I've first of all marked out a location where we're going to have some lockers. This is going to be a recurring theme throughout the video. I've been doing a lot of work on lockers. Away from the lockers, I've been adding in water fountains around the park. And again, throughout the video, I'll be showing you all the various water fountain locations. I've tried to make them make sense in kind of where they're placed. So for example, here we've got the coffee shop, which will probably have water all kind of plumbed in there. So we'll put a coffee machine, a water fountain just outside there. I've also put them outside every first aid unit because I feel like, you know, they'd have water there as well, so may as well put a water fountain. And the final location is outside the toilets of each area, because obviously toilets are all plumbed in, so they probably would just put a water fountain outside those as well. But the big change here in the city area is we have a new facade. This is our pub, the Farleigh Arms. It's based off a building in central London. I think it's in Covent Garden, or nearby Covent Garden. That I went past a few weeks ago, and I thought that's a really nice building, so I pulled it up on Google Maps and basically used its inspiration to create the Farleigh Arms, and I'm so happy with how this has turned out. I think this is like a Animal Crossing TMTK piece or something. I don't know, it just looks really nice out the front here. Got the two different brick colours, the hanging baskets, the menus, and I've actually changed the menu of the restaurant to better fit our menus out the front. And of course you have the Planet Coaster restaurant in there. And from inside it's all kind of done with the realism, so there's no gaps in there. And just super happy with that. You've got all the lighting as well. We'll take a look at this stuff at night at the end of the video, so stick around for that. And yeah, with the changes to that restaurant, I've removed the Bull and Crown sign from this one. Don't know what we'll do with it yet. That's going to be it for the city area. I'm hoping for the next update I'll have basically all but the cinema facade done, because I think I'm just going to do what I did with this building, find a nice one somewhere in London and try and take inspiration from it. Moving on now to the adventure area, where pretty much all of this is the same apart from, as I said, the water fountains. Let's see if we can find one. Here we go. And I have recoloured them to fit into their various areas. So the city area ones were blue. These ones are tan, and you'll see those throughout the video. They're all coloured kind of towards their respective areas. Something I have been working on is the lockers around the park. I think I mentioned this in the last episode. So yeah, here we have the Explorer lockers, and just a simple locker unit underneath the restaurant here, which I think looks pretty cool. It's got plenty of lockers around the park. But the big change is with the kind of facade planning I've done in the steampunk area. I've started work on the final side of the adventure land, and I think this is starting to come together really nicely now. It integrates the toilets in, which are almost done. I just do another theming pass, add a few more bits to these rock walls, and a few kind of bits of signage around so you know that there are toilets here. I also got the water fountain out the front, and yeah, all around here I've done some more theming. Like on this side, I've got kind of the snake statue continuing to go through the landscape here. We've got the columns, we've got the plants growing out of this. You can see here kind of how there is a small gap because with all the pieces there I can't have them back to back. But we'll have kind of the concrete on top there to signify that there is like, that's a building there. But yeah, it's not quite done. I just have to finish off this section here, but I think I'm going to wait to do the steampunk tunnel first. And then once that's done I can then basically cover it up. Because yeah, you can see it's overhanging there. I kind of want to make sure that I know what this looks like, and then when I cover it up I don't have things slipping through. As you see, kind of around the back of the toilets there. From this side it looks cool, from the other side it looks terrible. So yeah, that is the adventure area. Let's move on to Deadwood now, because this is where a lot of the updates are. So first of all, we'll start with the small one. I've put this well here in the pathway. Just found it when browsing through the various pieces for what we're going to go to in a second, and I thought that might fit, and there was a gap in the path here, so I put some curbs in, and now we have ourselves a well. And as you can see over here by this here, we have the water fountains. Once again, we've got a few of those around the area. There's another one over here by the toilets. But the big thing I've been working on is the flat ride, which is now themed in with a nice queue line. I've added a few pieces to the ride itself, just to kind of make it a bit more Deadwoody. Which is basically adding these vines in around the pillars, because you've got those vines growing everywhere. Yeah, apart from that, the flat ride itself is pretty much the same. I have got a light inside the pillar here. Again, we'll go through all the night lighting stuff at the end of the video. But yeah, the queue line itself also has all the lighting done, and I've put in these shade canopies, just because the queue line is quite exposed to the sun here, so I thought, you know, if we have some shade, it would be better for the guest experience. Looking at you, Thorpe Park, please add some shade to Stealth's queue. We've also got ourselves the entrance sign here. I think this looks pretty cool, nice archway. Just need a name which will go right in the middle there, so if you've got any ideas, leave a comment with your name suggestion for this flat ride. Remember, it's like kids, spooky flat ride. And yeah, if I like your name, I'll probably choose it and put it right there. And of course, you've also got all the realism stuff, so we'll have our queue time board. We've got our height checker, we've got our safety information board. If we go through the queue line itself, here we have ourselves this kind of trough, which would probably be full with water, but looks like it's a bit overgrown. Moving around here, we've got ourselves a cart full of potions and pots, and a weird spooky looking tree. This tree is awesome. I can't remember how I found the piece, but I think it looks really nice. Here we have one of the only oak trees around the area, so I thought I'd put these vines kind of growing up it to add some more. We've got another trough around there as well, and then as you move around you've just got more trees, more basically you're going through the Deadwood. But you have this tree which is listed as Witch's Tree, so I thought I'd put it in for a bit of fun. There's another one here, I think another one around the corner there. But yeah, that is our spooky flat ride, so that's basically done now, which I'm super happy about. Really means that kind of from here to the end of Deadwood, just over there, everything is complete. And you may have seen it, yes, I've themed up what was a water shop is now a juice shop. Still not named, so again, comment your name suggestions. If I like it, you'll not only get it on the sign here, but also on the parchment sign up there. Again, another piece that I just found and I thought that looks really cool. And you got the little cat sign as well. So I'm kind of mixing the fairy tale and spooky themes here. So yeah, this ride I use a lot of the fairy tale stuff, especially these pieces here. I think it really helps keeping it spooky, but also more family friendly compared to, you know, look at the Raven's Wing queue line and you've got gravestones everywhere. Yeah, looking at this, really happy with how this building turned out. We have the cool roof, and that's basically duplicated down here to add like a nice overhang. And yeah, all themed apart from this one side here, which I can probably do once I start doing the nature stuff going up this side here. And yeah, something else I really tried to do was what I call a rock facade. So we have all the rocks here. Looks like I need to fix those clipping issues, but it kind of hides the skyride and the flat ride queue from each other, so you can't really see down into there too much from the skyride queue line, which is obviously at the top here. In terms of the shade covers that I've put in the flat ride queue, I've also added them around the Raven's Wing queue line, again in kind of areas that don't have much shade anyway. So I've got one just out here in the middle there, there's another one, I forget where they are now. There's one right here, right under the skyride. There's two up here in this castle pin. I realise there's literally no shade whatsoever because it's raised up. So I put two up there, and then there's one more just covering the merge point, which I thought, you know what, the staff here might get really hot, so we'll put one up there just to make sure it's all nice and shady around here. Also, if we just hop inside the coaster station, looks like the jump scare is just there. I have replaced quite a few of the lighting stuff with better ones, basically. So the chandeliers were the Ghostbusters ones, so I've got to fix that issue just there as well. I've replaced those with these, I think, much more spooky alternatives, as I've also done with the lights. They were these ones from the spooky pack, but these just look way cooler. So I've done that all around the station. I think that kind of makes it look way more spooky than the previous lights did. And finally, haven't built it yet, but we will have lockers right at the top of the hill here. I've put in the scare maze kind of rough outline here. This should probably be done for the next episode. I was hoping to have it done for this episode, but I didn't quite have the time. So this is the base of what it's going to look like. We've got the three towers, one of which is right over the entrance. And I've also fully themed up the queue line now, so that's all done basically. Literally the entire walkway is now done apart from this one building. But yeah, let's quickly move into Outpost 5, because once again I've added water fountains. We've got a couple out by the canteen, and then there's another one by the toilets where we can also find the Outpost Armory, aka the lockers for this area. I've tried to have all of them being nicely themed. Also got the water fountain around here, and I think I moved the staff building as well into this side. Though that staff only sign should probably go on the other side. That's something I can probably do off camera. So you've got the Outpost Armory. This was the staff building, but I thought it's the only space left that could accommodate lockers, so it's around the back there. We've got lockers and toilets now on the sign, and that looks quite nice around the back there. Anyway, let's move into Buccaneers Bay, where it's pretty much what I said at the start. We have ourselves treasure chests, aka more lockers. This area's locker building, and I've also added water fountains. We've got one here outside our coffee shop, and there's another one outside the gift shop. Moving on to Storm Valley, pretty much the same thing. Got water fountains added. I think there's one just here, yeah. So I've gone for a more reddish brown colour, and I've also got the Valley Bank, which is our area's lockers. This is probably the most complicated one to install because I had to do a bunch of theming where the queue line was, but also make sure you couldn't jump the queue, although you're jumping maybe 5 minutes a queue, it's not really worth it, is it? And yeah, from the back here, you just got some nice bits of theming. Tried to integrate that really nicely there. Now let's move on into Farleigh Avenue, where I've actually completed all of the building outlines for every building that I've still got to create in this land, which I think from the last episode is literally just this and this. That's pretty much it. But yeah, here now you have some nice tall buildings similar to over here. So I think kind of we'll have some nice height around the land as well. I am considering raising this to be 3 as well and having these ones be 2. I don't really want you to be able to see the trees, but then it's like you'll be able to see it more from down here. So I'll have to see how that all comes together. Might be nice to see some trees. You also get a nice view of the turnaround on the Farleigh Fly just in the distance there. I've added a couple of water fountains outside our main first aid unit, but these are the only water fountains I've put in Farleigh Avenue for now. I'm going to wait till I finish all the rest of the buildings and then sort the rest of those out. Oh, I thought I'd placed one outside the toilets here, but again, I guess I didn't, so I'll have to sort that out once I finish all the rest of the buildings. And then I think finally we'll just hop into the gardens where we don't have any lockers, because there's literally no space for them. But also, all the rides are small enough, you wouldn't really need lockers. Once again, I've added fountains around the area, so you've got these nice green fountains. Got one just outside of Grove Explorer. There's one just by the ATM. And I think there is one more just here by the toilets. So yeah, plenty of water fountains around the park. I do want to add more of these kind of water units around the park, but they're going to have to be in the sections between areas. So maybe I'll try and put one in here somewhere. I think I'll definitely try and get one here as well. Maybe just kind of in the corner here, I'm not sure yet. And let's take a quick look at the park at night. The main things I wanted to point out were the Farleigh Arms, which I think I've got some nice lighting on, which I'm really happy with how that's all turned out. And also we'll just hop over now to the flat ride, which I think looks pretty cool. Got some nice purple lighting on the sign, and also you can see that purple light that I've hidden inside there as well. But yeah, that is pretty much going to be it for episode 12 of Farleigh Park. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Lots of small updates in this one. I haven't been building in the park as much over the Christmas period and into January really, but yeah, I'm trying to do more regular live streams, aiming for at least once a week. And yeah, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss those. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.